welcome to another video. You catch me today on another 200km ride, going down to Stonehenge today. Bit of a change of direction, I suppose, although we were quite close to there last week in the Moonrakers. But yeah, so I'm off down to the Stonehenge. I'm actually 24 hours late, and that's because of Storm Arwen that blew through yesterday, and you know, put trees down, put snow on the high ground and all that stuff, and it was pouring rain here because we're quite low. So yeah, I've left it 24 hours, and as you can see today, it's absolutely lovely. It is very cold though. My phone says it's -1. I've got a thermometer in the garden on the shed, and that said that it was like -2 or something. So I'll go with the -1. But yeah, without further ado, let's crack on. Let's get down into Wiltshire, and I'll bring you along with me. Well, you join me in Laterton. I thought it was a little bit chilly. The duck pond is frozen. Well, it's got not solid, but it's got a good crust on the top. And the poor old ducks are stuck over the other side. So yeah, it's proper chilly. There are some ice patches in the lanes, you know, where there's been a puddle and the traffic's driven through, and then it's splashed over the road. So yeah, there are a few icy patches. Alright. So just come off the A46 there, and yeah, there was a good patch there. It's you know, there's a bit of a dip in it. Obviously, the water collects in the rain, so yeah, that was a bit sketchy. But yeah, it's a stunning day. It's absolutely stunning. Anyway, I'm off down there towards Thurston and on to Grittleton and Corsham. Well, I'm now in Grittleton, and this is Grittleton House behind me. Some sort of wedding venue, I think. Hi. Seems to be one of those mornings whenever I record on the camera, somebody cycles past. It's unbelievable. It's good though, everybody's out and about, so that's good. Yeah, so I'm just about to cross over the M4 into Yatton Kennel, and then down into Corsham. Well, I've had a bit of a stop for coffee in Melksham. I'm just stopping on a bench just down the road from the petrol station. So 36 miles done. The average speed is shocking. Those knobbly tyres on the gravel bike really do hold me back. So anyway, it's now 4 degrees rather than -1. But to be honest, the last few miles has felt a bit warmer, so I'm going to stop and put my I've already stopped, but I'm going to put my thinner gloves on now. You'll get a bit of B-roll now, because the other ones, they like skiing gloves, and the fingers are too thick and I can't press the record button on the camera, so yeah, you got a bit of B-roll from this point on. But it's a stunning day, absolutely stunning. I've left Melksham behind now. I had a bit of a double-do moment, you know, Homer Simpson. So I gave the bike a bit of a wash earlier in the week. Just a quick once over job, not a deep clean. And I forgot to leave the chain afterwards, which is a bit daft. I think from memory I was trying to rush it, to be honest, but anyway, so it's been squeaking away at me all the way down here, and I meant to buy some, I don't know, some lube of some description from the petrol station, and I completely forgot. Morning. Anyway, luckily I had to go back on the route there's a second petrol station which I'd actually forgotten about. Anyway, they've got a bit more of a shop in there than the other one I went to. So I've been in there, hunted around. We got something called spray grease. So I've put it on the chain now. So it comes out in a liquid and then sort of solidifies. That's kind of perfect for the chain. Anyway, I now have a silent chain. It's great. So I'm now going through this housing estate on the cycle path. I think it's Bower Hill, and it's excellent because it just cuts off the main road. That main road I just came out on, although I've only done a couple of hundred yards of it. Used to do 10-mile time trials along there. All this wasn't here then. I'm making myself feel old. Anyway, if you're in the Melksham area, sorry, I'm concentrating on where I'm going as well as talking to you. And I still managed to go wrong. That's alright, we can make that happen. Yeah, if you're out and about in the Melksham area, the town hall Christmas lights are absolutely fantastic. I was really surprised by them last year. Obviously I don't know what they're going to be like this year. I'm assuming they're the same. But yeah, I have an unofficial Christmas lights competition every year doing these sort of rides. You know, you see a lot of what people put up outside their house, and then you get things like businesses doing it. So in my head I have a little bit of a competition, and for a bit of a laugh I tweeted Melksham Town Council and said, "You've won my competition this year because your lights are so good." And to my surprise they actually replied and said thank you very much. Morning.
Morning.
So I think this is going to take me alongside the Kennet and Avon Canal on the towpath into Devizes. Morning. Well, I don't know if you can see that, but that bird over there is a heron, stork, I don't know, ostrich. Impressive looking thing anyway, with like big long legs. The other thing that is surprising is there's a little bit of a crust on the water. So I think that, let me get going, that shows how cold it was last night, to be honest. Until probably 2 years ago I worked in the docks in Gloucester, and obviously you've got the Sharpness Gloucester Canal feeding that, and then there's a lock gate that takes them out into the River Severn, but that used to freeze over the basin in the port, if you like. Used to freeze over when it got cold, but yeah, even up here it's a very thin crust. I'm not sure shows up, but yes, winter has arrived. I mean, this time last week, well, I'm not actually, I wasn't doing it this time last week, but when I did the Moonrakers last week I started off in track mitts, fingerless gloves. So yeah, a difference a week makes. At least that those gale force winds from yesterday have abated. There's hardly any wind at all.
quite like the idea of like living on a narrowboat and that kind of thing until this time of year. Being right by water, I can imagine it being pretty cold. Yeah, all this along here is frozen. I mean, it'll be melting off now because it's about freezing, 4 degrees. Anyway, I'm going to put the camera away, it's a bit bumpy. Bit of a navigational whoopsie back there. I was so in my own little world, right along the canal towpath, I actually didn't turn right when I should have done. So I actually added about 3/4 of a mile before I realised. So what I did, I realised, decided that the next road came to, I turned right and then right again, which would tempt me back onto the route, and that's what's happened. I was expecting more of a tailwind today, but the wind has more of a westerly element to it rather than a northerly than that's what I was expecting. And I'm now heading east a little bit, and this is the first time where I felt like I've got a bit of a tailwind, so that's good. Well, just gone through West Lavington, and I'm now on the main devices to Salisbury Road, and got a few more miles of this to Tills Head, and I'm back on the minor roads. Bit of a necessary evil. There is quite a lot of traffic, but not a lot I can really do about that. Update, I'm now in Tills Head. That's the main road over and done with. See, I'm now on a byway. It's down this way. Minus the traffic. So if you've never been down here before, this is the typical landscape, rolling grassland and the odd military installation, which is what I was over there. So I'm just about to come into Lark Hill now. I know not far from Stonehenge, because there was one of those sort of storage places back there that said Stonehenge storage or something like that. So you know you're not far away when people start picking up on names like that. So yeah, Lark Hill is a bit of an army garrison town thing, and I think it's the artillery, I think, but yeah, this place behind me is a military thing as well, so the whole area is dotted with little places like this. Yeah, so I reckon I'm probably about 5 or 6 miles from Stonehenge now. Coming across the plain here, the wind has been in my favour, so I suspect that once I've gone past Stonehenge and I'm at the other side, I suspect I've got a bit of a headwind for a while. Luckily it's nothing like yesterday. I wouldn't wanted to have done this yesterday. It was a sensible decision to delay it 24 hours. This is actually pleasant. Anyway, let's crack on. Well, as you can see, right by the stones, there's a bridleway. That's just down the edge of the bit where you don't have to pay, basically. And let me get off the bike. Now, even on a freezing cold day like today, there's lots of people here. What it's like in the height of summer, I have no idea. So basically, where you can see those vans and what have you parked up there, I've come across there, and then on this path, and then I'm going down there, and you can just see the A303, and unfortunately I've got to cross that. But yeah, this is the closest I've ever been to these stones. Impressive. I've just gone through Amesbury, and I came out the other side on a sort of bridleway, And the traffic you can now hear is the A303. Just behind me there's a roundabout, so it goes from a single carriageway into a dual carriageway on this side of it, on the eastern side I suppose you'd say. So yeah, that's where I am. It's clouded over a little bit now, which is a shame. After leaving the Stones, I had to cross the A303 because the sort of footpath, shared path thing was on the other side. So I went through some double gates, and I went through them, and the traffic westbound was really heavy. It's sort of jogging speed, but the stuff that was going eastbound was going pretty quick. So I was expecting to be there for quite a while, but there was a gap in the eastbound stuff, and then I ran across. A guy let me across, so that was good of him. But yeah, you wouldn't want to do that too often. Stopped here for starting to feel a little bit empty, and got 70 miles in the bank, so that's good. It's about 2:30 now. I didn't get going until about 8:30, so yeah, so it was quite a not late start, but you know, later than probably what I should have done. So I'm just entering the Vale of Pewsey now. I'm at Enford. There's this sort of plaque on the side of the bus stop, Audax Hotel. I don't know. I mean, that one's nice and wide. You could sleep in this quite easy. Nice as a 4-star. This is. I don't know how much room service would be though. Oh dear. Yeah, so I just I'm eating some of these donuts I bought in Melksham, and having a bit of a drink and just chilling out for a little bit. To be honest, it's nice and quiet here. A stunning little pub down there, thatched roof, and on top of the peak, if you like, I don't know what you would call the actual proper word. It's got a swan. The pub is called the Swan, and they've got made out of straw. It's pretty amazing. If you're wondering what I'm trying to explain, if you look at this picture here, there's the Swan there, and obviously you've got the thatched roof, and this is all still here. You can still see it. Not sure if you can see it, but yes. So once I've had another donut, and I'll spare you the sight of me shoveling that in my face, I'm going to go off up onto my right towards Pewsey and the Pewsey Vale. Anyway, I'll speak to you in a bit. Oh, what's the name of that place? Yes, I've just a peek round the corner. North Newington, and I'm not far. I'm not a million miles away from Devizes. So this path I've just come along was 1.5 miles, and it was rideable all the way along. It was a little bit boggy in places, and I've picked up a bit of a leaf collection. But that was apparently the Avon Trail. Never heard of it before, but Kamut sent me this way, and it was alright actually. So I'm just going to rejoin the road now, and I can't remember where the route takes me from here, so it's a bit of a magical mystery tour. But I kind of quite like that kind of thing, really. I dreamt this route up about 3 weeks ago, something like that. And it was basically off the back of a conversation people were having with regards to the Moonrakers route last week, and you know, how easy would it have been to divert and have a look at the stones. So I came up with this route sort of before last week, really. So I can't remember where I have a rough idea, but yeah, my hands got a bit cold where I was stopped having something to eat. and it's taken them a little while to warm back up again now. I didn't really want to get my thick gloves back out. It's not really that cold, it was just I just got cold from sat around. Anyway, having said that, I think I'm going to crack on and I'll speak to you in a bit. I've joined the Ridgeway. Obviously it's off-road, and Avebury is to my left, or your right as you're looking at it. Marlborough is to my right, your left, a few miles over, and this is the track. I can't remember how far along here I go. I don't think it's that far, I hope, so I should be doing it in the dark. I was just looking at my sat nav now, and I've got 3.5 miles of the Ridgeway, I think, where I turn off, and I think that's at the top of Hackpen Hill. So after that I can't remember of any more off-road. I think I'll avoid them due to the darkness and it being icy. As you can see, I'll just go a bit closer to this. The puddles are still frozen, so due to some of the ruts along here, you can't avoid but riding through them, but it's one of those things where once you're through, just don't brake. Anyway, you can see we've gained up quite a lot of height now, and I know that monument over there is outside Calne. So Swindon's over the ridge. You can't see it from here, so I know I'll be going to off to the left at some point soon. Anyway, I better crack on, so I've got less of this bit in the dark. Anyway, I'll speak to you soon. Well, I wasn't expecting this. It's actually settling as well, which is a bit worrying. There's proper big thick flakes now. Well, is this audacious enough for you? It's yeah, it's getting pretty sketchy. I'm glad I'm nearly at the end now. I think I've got about another half mile of this. Let me do it that way, it'll be easier. The snow did get quite heavy, but it's eased off slightly now. So the problem is it's settling a little bit, pitching as some people call it, and it's covered the ice, so you can't see it until you're on it, until it's crackling away at you. Yeah, it's a bit sketchy really. Anyway, I'm going to carry on this, and I'll speak to you when I get to the road. So I'm now at the top of Hackpen Hill, back on the road. Thankfully the snow's eased off now. In fact, I can see the lights of Swindon and what have you, so although it is sort of a few in the air. I think that's it, thankfully. Yeah, I'm just going to drop off of here down to Cliff Polypard and then onwards. I'm going to get going. I've lost me can of grease somewhere along there, but anyway, I'll speak to you in a bit. Hello, hello. You join me in Malmesbury, I think. Yeah, you join me in Malmesbury. I got about 34k to go. So what happened after Hackpen Hill? Dropped off the hill. It wasn't icy or anything. There was a bit of snow either side of the road. But as I dropped down, lost height, snow disappeared and it turned to rain. So I've had light rain for the last hour or so, and that's gone off now. Yeah, so about 35-ish k to go. It's not too bad. But yeah, I was a bit worried when I was going along the ridgeway there. It started to come down really heavy and it was settling and everything, pitching, whatever. So there's a bit of a lesson to learn there. Bit of a lesson to learn, you know, doing that sort of thing in the dark in this time of year, really. So yeah, I think that'll be that for this year now. Kind of learnt my lesson a little bit. I stopped for something to eat near Lynham and finished off my donuts, and here we are. The time is 5 to 7. I was actually expecting to be home at 7, but no. Anyway, I'm going to crack on, try and get some more of it done, and I'll speak to you a bit further down the road. Oh folks, what an adventure that ride was. It certainly was a ride of two halves. Brilliant sunshine and -1 at the very beginning, and snow and rain, and I mean it isn't much warmer now, to be fair. It's definitely dropped. Temperatures dropped again. I didn't look at what it was on the sat nav, but yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. I did like that. I think it's a summer route more than what now. The downside of doing that in the summer, I think there'd be too many people in Stonehenge in the summer. There was quite a lot today, but I can only imagine what it would be like, you know, in August or something like that. And that's the closest I've ever been to the stones, and they were quite impressive actually. I was, you know how sometimes you see these things, and when you go and see them in real life, it's a bit of a letdown, a bit of a, you know. But no, they were quite good. I mean, it's a little bit touristy, to be honest. My initial reaction, oh, you've spoilt it, you know, but it is what it is. Yeah, so I'm about 2 miles from home. I'm on the old Midland line, and I'm going to wrap up the video here. So as I said, I'm a day late, so I'm not sure when I'm going to post this video with work and everything, but I'll get it done as soon as I can, really. Anyway folks, if you've made it this far, thanks very much. Much appreciated, and I'll see you on the next one. I've got a hot shower that is got my name on it. See you next week.